Happy New Year 2021. I'm Father Alex Steinmiller. Each weekend through Passion Pause, I attempt to break open the Word of Life for the Scriptures this weekend. And this weekend we bring closure to the Christmas season. Boy, it seems so short. Hallmark Cards already has Valentine's in their display. So there's not that much time to really ponder the significance of God becoming one of us and we becoming God through our baptism, which we're celebrating this weekend. That is, Jesus being baptized by his cousin John the Baptist. And I think no one has missed the event that happened just a couple days ago at our nation's capital. And it's a reality. It happened. We can learn from it. And I think the Word of Life, the Gospel this weekend, and all the readings, shed light on what's our response to that kind of revolt, that kind of demonstration. First of all, when we're baptized, we are anointed as priests, as prophets, and as kings. That's our anointing. And the difficulty is who pays attention to that anointing, which is alive in us. It's not something that happened years ago. No, it's alive in us now. And speaking of being alive in us, what's alive in us is always the presence of God informing us as to what's going on around me. If you notice in the gospel today, John the Baptist notices what's going on around him when Jesus comes out of the water, and there is this sign from heaven that the Spirit of God is coming upon Jesus. And Jesus, according to St. Mark, notices this sign from heaven, like a dove. In St. Luke, it's even more specific. It says when Jesus comes out of the water, he prays. He stops, he pauses, he prays. No one else, as we know, came out of that water, and there must have been thousands of people who took advantage of this cleansing opportunity. No one else paused, stopped, looked around, or prayed. It's so we totally underestimate the power of our attentiveness. And I think if you're looking for a New Year's resolution that's so basic and actually can take people by surprise, would you ever consider making the resolution of whoever is in front of me at any moment, they are the one to whom I pay attention? It may be a minute, it may be 5 or 10, but I'm willing to pay attention. May I suggest to you that to live out your baptismal promises, which is to be a priest, that is to sacrifice for the sake of another's valuable time or something they really want to get across to you, and you're paying attention. Prophet, the ability to respond to anyone. And sometimes that response is honesty, basic honesty, the truth. And finally, royalty, or being part of God, God's kingdom. That we have this ability through God to pass on this royalty and the fact of importance to others. So what happened the other day in the Capitol is a lesson for us. Is it possible that we can find common ground? And it's common ground where we may not meet with some kind of peaceful harmony. It may be common ground to agree, to disagree. And is there anything so important to us that we cannot establish that common ground, whether in a minute or two or over days in a family, the willingness to pay attention to each other? So let's celebrate the baptism of Jesus by realizing that with him and in him and through him, we have the ability to change the world by our transformation of paying attention to the person who's in front of me now. God bless and Happy New Year, and let's move forward in the Spirit of God to transform this world.